Heart-centered hustlers. This is a first for me. I got to say that I'm interviewing Frank Criniti, who sold my wife her Honda Passport, which we're really, really pumped with. I like the thing. It's like a fully loaded tank, which I really, really like. That wasn't the reason why I asked this man on Heart-Centered Hustlers. I asked him on the podcast as something came up. I think one of our mutual friends, now that I'm living in Delco with the wife who grew up here. Yeah, I see you repping, and you'll see him repping too, because we'll be spitting clips out. That wasn't what fascinated me. I saw a post. Somebody shared out I think you were selling, I don't even remember what it was. It was some car that you traded in. You got a trade for a Honda. Somebody shared it out, and I was like, whatever it was, I clicked Frankie's fans. And I went back. Is it Frank's fans?
Hashtag Frank's fans.
Frank's fans. And I clicked it, and I went back, and I was like, holy shit. Like, it blew me away, man. And then I started to do more research on you and saw what you were up to. So really, really excited to have you on today. And I know that I have a lot of friends that are in car sales, if you will. My father was in car sales as I was a child, and he was slinging vehicles. I've never seen anyone brand themselves the way that you have. And before I go into this interview, what I want to say to you listening is we went to 3 different dealerships because, this was my wife's deal. I was like, pick whatever you want. I don't care. She knows what I want. I want the new vet. But I said, pick whatever you want. So she went to all these dealerships, and then she got set on Honda. Because I'm like, Honda, Toyota, Subaru. These are like the 3 cars that you see on the road until they shouldn't be on the road. And when she finally pinpointed Honda, I mean, we were even at my CrossFit gym. Oh, are you seeing Frank? Are you meeting with Frank? Literally, dude. And I know you know this, but for you listening, everywhere I went, probably 20, maybe even 30 individuals. Like, who are you dealing with? Frank? Oh, he's awesome. Oh, he's awesome. Like, everywhere I went, that's what started to click for me once I saw that post. I'm like, who is this dude? Number one. Number two, how has he branded himself so well? Because I don't care if you're in car sales, if you're a podcaster, what you're doing something right. And I want you to spit it and share it with the Heart-Centered Hustlers so that they can learn what you're doing.
Well, branding is only one aspect of it. And a lot of people get it confused, right? They think like, hashtag Frank's fans or something. That's your brand. That is not your brand. That is your slogan, right? That's just like a quippy, hey, hashtag or whatever you come up with. Your brand, as a salesperson, as an entrepreneur, as anybody in the community, as somebody trying to grow, is what actually makes you special, right? So, to me, what makes me special is, 24/7 access. I give everybody my cell phone number. Red carpet service. I treat you like you're buying a Bentley, not buying a Honda or a pre-owned whatever that we end up selling, So I always tell everybody, I'm not somebody that just wants to sell you a car and then never see you again, right? So it's all about the experience. You come in, we're going to celebrate this, right? Red carpet. We're literally taking a picture with you on the red carpet, velvet rope, the whole 9. We're actually celebrating. It's a big event in most people's life, to buy a car, to buy a new car. And sometimes as salespeople, we kind of forget that, right? It's just our job. Hey, we're just selling a car. No, this is a huge event for somebody, right? So, not everybody wants to go on social media. So, you take as many pictures you possibly can, but that's how you get yourself out there. What your brand is who you are, and you have to tell that story. Now, the marketing end of it that everybody drops the ball on, right? There's a lot of people that tell their story. The marketing end of it that everybody drops their ball on is they don't put it out there. Okay. They don't get into, everybody else's circles of, influence. To me, it's like, a lot of parents say, stranger danger, don't go talk to strangers. Well, if you don't talk to strangers, you're never going to grow your network. You're never going to get out of, just the people that know you, right? So my job as a marketer is to infiltrate everybody else's circle. So how do I do that? friend you on Facebook, respond to, all the comments on social media, put myself out there unrelentingly every single day, not just on social media though, but actually in the community. Like you're running for office, old school, shaking hands, kissing babies, even though you can't do
Dude,
that stuff in
that's how
2020.
literally how I felt. Like, and you nailed it, because people think that branding is like posting on social media. No, it's not. And I want to lead into this. 3/4 of the business that I get, they're closed before they even get to me,
Right.
because they've got references from so
Right.
many people about who I am and how I operate. And I think that's the piece that blew me away.
Well, that's what people can't understand. They're like, there's no way, like people in the car business or in sales or just sell a product. They're like, there's no way that you could sell 150 cars a month. And what they don't understand is their process is totally different than mine, because they're starting at point A and have to take it all the way through, either that they can't get past, M or N because they go somewhere else, or take it all the way through to get the client posted, market it all the way through Z, where we become friends. Right. And now who else do you want to refer to besides a friend? Everybody wants to know somebody, right, for something. I want to know a plumber. I want to know an electrician. I want to know a salesman, an accountant, a lawyer. Well, I want to be your guy, right? And how do I do that? I humanize myself to everybody. I become your friend by social media. You see what I do. You see what I'm doing with my charity, with my kids, with my, out on the Eagles games or whatever it is. You humanize yourself to your clients, to your customer base, so that they do become your friends, right? And then, why else in the world would somebody want to go somewhere else besides somebody they had a great experience with already? And then they refer you in, they talk you up so much that I don't start at point A. We're already starting at point M or N, and just have to, basically fill in some details or solve a couple problems. It makes it real easy when you have that trust factor built in. It makes it not easy just for me, but it makes it easier for you when you have a comfort built in with somebody, especially something as big as, a car purchase, or, spending money on internet marketing or whatever it is. That you have that reference, that, the person that you trusted already has used this person. The best compliment I ever get, the ones that floor me, are the ones that people refer me, a customer, like, and talk about me like I'm the greatest thing that's ever happened, that they're ever going to have an experience, and they've never come in and bought a car from me. And they've never, I've never even met them, right? But they see me with all their friends, all their family. Eventually I'll get them in to sell them a car, but they refer me somebody over. That's when I know I'm winning at that point, right? Because, then your reputation, has basically taken you to the levels that nobody really understands how you're going to get there, right? Nobody can understand how can you sell? I can't sell more than 30 cars, because you're doing it the wrong way. You're banging your head against the wall every single day with fresh customers, or just cold leads, or just leads that are just searching for what we call the race to the bottom, right? The cheapest price. And, sometimes you don't have to be the cheapest price, right? You just have to have the most efficient process. If I had a long commute to work, I tell this to everybody every day, if I had a long commute to work and there was a lane that I could pay for every single day, not to have to wait in traffic, right? Not to, have to slow down. It was just an express lane. What's that worth to you? Is that worth $5 a day? Is that worth $10 a day? Well, the experience you get from me is you're not sitting at a dealership for 6 hours, right? You don't have to do months, weeks, days, whatever it is you put into it of research. I'm going to make sure that you're getting the best experience, the most efficient experience, in and out. Who wants to sit at a dealership for 6 hours? Who wants to sit anywhere for 6 hours? Not me. Like, no way. Like, you're not gonna handcuff me and have me sit at a store for 6 hours. And I could tell you were the same way when you came in. You're like, all right, just give me a number. Boom, here it is. All right, great. We'll get back to you. No problem. Anything else I could do for you, just let me know. I'm here. I want to earn your business. I'm hungry for you. I don't care how many cars I'm selling. Got to let everybody know that you're passionate, to earn their business. And that's how you can get to the levels that I'm at. Not by just marketing and doing Facebook posts. Like, there's salesmen and saleswomen and salespeople out there, they can't get it. Like, oh, I post every day. Well, you're not growing your circles, right? You're not getting your reputation out there. You're not telling people what your actual brand is and then marketing that, because you got to win by multiplication. You can't win by, one sale every day. You need to multiply that sale every time with marketing, right? I mean, if you ask me the question, God came down and said, Frank, you can either be the best salesman that's ever walked the planet or the best marketer. I would choose marketer every single day, right? Because I can win with the masses marketing. right? If I'm just a salesman, yeah, I can sell, but, I'm going to have to win, almost one at a time, or, selling, to at different levels. Marketing, I can appeal to many people. Market, I don't have to sell. I could just market myself. And that's really what I've done.
And you've crushed it, man. You've absolutely crushed it. And I'm still
Don't tell me that, man. I'm Rocky 1. I'm still hungry, man. I'm
no,
digging.
dude.
So
You ain't
yeah.
gonna stop, man. I mean, I friended you on Facebook after I requested, that you come on, and it was just spontaneous. It came up in my morning quiet time, 2 mornings in a row. I felt your spirit in there, and it was different when I was in there. I'm in sales, right? Like I can
Right.
close an unhinged door, but what I have found is very similar to you. I would much rather have people, somebody says marketing or sales funnel or whatever it is. They're like, oh, have you talked to Mark? Have you talked to Mark? Mark knows what he's doing. Mark's the best. Mark will treat you right. Da, 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 da. I'd rather build a pipeline than get that quick cash. And especially with what's going on in the world right now, everyone is becoming focused on that quick cash grab. And that's not how you win long-term. Question for you, Frank. How long have you been in cars, selling cars?
I've been in cars 0 days. I sell myself every single day. I don't sell a product.
Oh, he's
I
got
sell it.
pitches for everything.
No, it's not a pitch. It's the truth, man. Trust me. Listen, I could sell any product. It doesn't matter, right? I mean, just replace a car with, with sunglasses, or with, or with houses, or whatever it is, right? If you're just selling a product, how do you get through like average? I mean, every once in a while you might spike up and be a little more than average, but if you're selling a product, I mean, listen, everybody's selling a product. I'm selling an experience. I'm selling myself basically every single day. I mean, it's really what I'm doing. Everybody comes in. The last thing they want to do is really talk about cars. For the most part, they talk about kids, family. Like, what are you doing? I see that you're, doing sales training now. I see that you're doing, stuff with your Delco group, your kids. Like, that's when you've won. You know what I mean? That's when you're winning, when everybody knows who you are and what you do and where you do it and how you do it, and you personify yourself. You're no longer selling a product, right? You're building an army of people that are going to refer to you, be your friends, Frank's fans. Like, that's what you're doing. You're building an army of people that, want to refer to you, that want to buy from you, that want to hang out with you, that want to feel, your aura, your spirit, and find out what makes you tick sometimes, right? That's where the magic's at. Not
And
selling
so
a product.
let me, I'm going to rephrase the question.
I've been working at Piazza Honda. I've been partnering with them for 20 years.
20 years. All
Yeah.
right. I mean, I don't know how much more. I think any further commentary for me would just be beating a dead horse. I mean, you get it on a level that most don't. And when I came in, it was late. I just worked a full day. We had to, arrange the sitter so we could come over. There was none of that car salesman. There was none of that. I didn't experience any of that. And I think you sent my wife home in like 2 vehicles. You were just like, take it.
I think I was going to call the cops once when I reported stolen. She had it for like 4 or 5 days. Listen, it's not my selling process. Here's what you do when you're selling a product, right? You force somebody through a selling process, and you'll have all these old school and people that have done it. They're like, there has to be a process, Okay, I understand that, and I agree with it, but it doesn't have to be your process, right? It's the customer's process. How do they want to purchase something? What experience do they want, right? If I sit there and tried to pressure your wife into purchasing a car the first time that I met her, she would have just rolled, right? She might have bought something because she had to, but there would have been nothing that drew her back to me, right? She just would have went out and just did the best, shopping, and whatever the lowest number was. And I don't care if it's local or whatnot, just give me your best number and I'll come in and buy it. And that's all fine and good. Sometimes you have to do that, but it was the first step in our relationship. And she was referred over by, a mutual friend of ours, one of the Vellas. And, so that built a little bit of comfort. And my job, right, my role is to make sure that she's getting the best experience her way. Not the best experience the way that, I want to force her through some process, right? Sit down and give me all your information, or, sit down and do a needs analysis, or no, I have a conversation with you. and I don't usually listen to what you're actually saying, right? A lot of people come in and say a lot of stuff. I make sure that I try to understand what you're actually trying to tell me, right? And she was trying to tell me that she wanted a Honda, she had a Honda, she came in for a CRV, and she wasn't really happy with the CRV a little bit after if she drove it. So I let her take it home to make sure that it was, right and could fit, her lifestyle. But I knew deep down inside she didn't want the CRV. Like I knew that already, right? And that's why I sprung under the passport. And that's what it ended up being. But, if I would have forced her through what these dealerships or what, a lot of these old school trainers are telling you, the 12 steps to the sale, the process, it's all bullshit, man. Absolute bullshit. You know what I mean? So I'm sorry. I don't know if I can curse on your podcast
No,
or
you
not. But,
totally can.
all right,
Yeah,
cool.
it is bullshit. It's all about human connection, man. And
Yeah.
you have actually absolutely nailed it. And I preach the same thing that you do. If you find an individual's pain and you really truly hear them outside of the words, like you just said, like you're just offering them an opportunity to solve a problem. You don't even have to sell.
Well, here's how I know the old school ways of sales processes are bullshit. All right. So I do sales training, and I've been doing it a little now for over a year for salespeople all over the country, actually all over the continent right now. I have a couple people in Canada that I'm doing sales training with. Right. So my whole thing is I wanted to make sure that I wasn't just this enigma of a car salesman and like I'm the greatest thing that's ever happened to car sales, blah, blah, blah. And there was actually, my methodologies that could be taught, so teachable, and then B, learnable. And they are because, the people that have been with me for a year, the 20 some salespeople that have been with me for the whole year of a journey with me are absolutely crushing it and blown away with how easy it's getting now to be the number one person in either their dealership. I have people that have been in the business for 40 years. I have people that have been in the business for 1 year. And every single one of them that stuck with me through the whole year and went through my whole training, absolutely crushing and dominating it. And now I'm training 200 plus salespeople right now, and everybody that's applying it and actually, opening their mind and listening and, actually applying everything I'm telling them to do every single day and making it their daily habits and their routines, absolutely crushing it. And this is nothing like mind blowing, right? It's nothing like, this is not calculus. It's geometry, right? So you don't have to be like some brainiac, smart, intelligent, smooth, savvy, suave salesperson, right? You just have to understand basic human instincts and appeal to that to people. And that's really what it is. And then take the next step and actually tell people about it. Market it, right? Get in different circles, like stranger danger. I'm the guy that wants the white van to pull up and kidnap me. Like that's how many strangers I want to meet. I want to be the guy duct tape in the back that they finally just throw out the back of the van, right? That's when I know that I'm making an impact, when I'm meeting that many strangers, right? So yeah, I tell my kids to be safe and, not walk up to a white van, obviously, right? But I don't protect them and keep them in this little shell of, don't make friends. Don't talk to that person. You don't know him. Oh my God, he's in a store and he said hello to me. No, actually have a conversation with that person, right? Be social. That's what everybody misses with social media, right? Is you have to be social, right? If you somewhat know somebody and you're sitting at a restaurant and they wave to you from a couple tables over, do you not wave back? Do you not buy them a drink? Do you not walk over and have a small conversation or get into a really great conversation? Well, it's the same thing on social media, right? Somebody comments on something that you do, or, you share it out, or somebody shares something out. Do you not socially reach out to that person? Right? Like this is the new normal, everybody keeps saying. But yeah, but you're getting lost and you get to hide behind a phone and just like something and not actually add value to that person, not show that person who you are, right? And bring them on. A new stranger becomes a new connection, becomes a new relationship, becomes somebody new that, I could maybe refer to, and then vice versa. So, there's a lot that goes into it, but it's nothing that has to be, mind blowing or calculus, advanced calculus, or, anything crazy. This is, it's pretty simple stuff when you really narrow it down. It's just, you have to be willing to keep putting yourself out there. You have to be willing to maybe embarrass yourself every once in a while and jump on and do a Facebook Live, right? Some of the stuff I'm going through my training right now, I kind of breaking a lot of salespeople out of this. I'm too embarrassed. I can't do it, and then once you do it, even if you embarrass yourself, you figure out embarrassment actually doesn't hurt. It's okay, right? That feeling goes away very, very quickly. You just jump on into another one and another one. And then you feel more comfortable, right? And then eventually you get invited on to do a nice podcast, right? Or somebody wants to interview you. To me, I just say yes to everything anymore, right? I always just say, oh, I don't know, how many people do you have on your podcast? And, I don't know what you're all about, so I'm going to have to do some research on you. Anybody ask me to do anything anymore? Yes, 100%. Yes, I don't care who you are. Why? Because stranger danger. I want to meet people, right? It's not dangerous to me. It's dangerous to me not to meet strangers. Got to think of it the other way, absolutely reverse it around, reverse engineer it. You want to meet strangers. You want to get to that point right to the edge where you are almost getting kidnapped and thrown in the white van, duct taped up and never to see again. Like, that's really what you want to do.
And you want to bring them so much value that at the end of that meeting, they're feeling like they owe you something, right? You go into Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People philosophy.
Right.
That's it. Frank, I'm gonna let you jump. I know your little one getting a haircut?
No, he's getting a haircut, and then I'm going to get all.
Oh, you're going to get a haircut.
Yeah,
nice,
absolutely.
Man. I appreciate you. I have a feeling you're going to be back on. I also have a feeling that individuals from my network are going to reach out to interview you. So thank you so much for who you are and what you're doing. Where can individuals listening to this show find you?
You can go to, you can find me on Facebook. My cell phone number is everywhere, 484-368-9000. All my training is frankselite.com. If you can't find me, that's my fault. So I'm not doing a good enough job. So, let me know if you can't find me. I'll be pressing into the market even harder.
Just go do hashtag Frank's fans. He's going to come up everywhere. Frank, thank you so much for your time, brother.
Hey,
I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you so much.
It's my first car interview as well. How ironic that is.
That's
All right,
great,
brother.
man.
I'll talk to you soon.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, man.